Hi, I'm Keith Boyle. I'm the CEO of Newfound Gold. We have properties in Newfoundland, assets in Newfoundland. We have a producing mine, Hammerdown, that's ramping up production this year. Our flagship Queensway project is fast-tracking to production, anticipated towards the end of 27. And we have a Pine Cove Mill that's processing Hammerdown is really the key to unlocking value at Queensway. Besides that, we've got an exploration property package that's, well, I would say second to none, and lots of upside potential, camp potential.
Keith, good to see you.
Hi, Matt.
The sun is shining.
It sure is.
It's shining on the gold as well.
It might be shining, but your sweater tells me it might be chilly shining.
This is my comfort cardigan that my fans and watchers demand.
Oh yeah, okay.
This, so that's what I'm doing. Anyway.
Okay, very good.
Anyway, back to you. Right, you've been. We are going to talk about some amazing drill results that you put out yesterday.
Yes.
And I want to talk about that in the context of the kind of commercial plans of getting into cash flow. You've been here a year now.
Yep.
Okay, so no cake, no candle, but you've been here a year. Remind me what the brief was then, and then if you don't mind, explain to me how you delivered against that.
Okay. Well, when I was hired, when I looked at the project, when I was hired, it was, look, we've been exploring now for 5 years. We drilled over 600,000 meters. It's time to get to cash flow. We want you to get to cash flow. That's what I was asked and told. That's the brief. And so in looking at Queensway, two things stand out. One is the high-grade core, and two, there was milling facilities on the island that we could take advantage of. When you look at the different timelines to get to cash flow and not have to keep financing to keep the things going and dilute shareholders, you can look at two streams. You can build a mill on site, or you can mine and ship to a mill that exists. Building a mill on site would have required, well, as we published in our PEA last July, our phase 2 has in-pit tailings deposition. In other words, we're not building a tailings dam. That really extends the permitting timeline and the execution because you have to mine out a pit.
Yeah.
That would delay production from Queensway and cash flow from Queensway by 2-3 years probably.
Right.
And so by putting it in a mill that exists, or at least working with a permitted mill, we just accelerate that, and that's why we're anticipating to send Queensway material to the Pine Cove Mill end of next year.
So, and do you think that you put out an announcement about the acquisition of Hammerdown? Obviously,
we did.
Therefore, Pine Cove as well. Do you think that was kind of fully understood, that logic of yours? It saves time, which saves money by definition.
Well, it saves time, saves money, and saves dilution.
Right.
Because we'd have to keep financing our way through those 3 years as we advanced, And so for us, the acquisition of Maritime, one, gave us the Hammerdown mine that is ramping up now, and so will generate cash flow, especially at today's gold prices. And that'll help with what we have to do. One, saves us going back to market, not have to raise the money to just operate. Mm-hmm. But then two, we have the Pine Cove Mill, we have the Nugget Pond Gold Circuit. So our plan is to bring the Nugget Pond Gold Circuit over. Mm-hmm. We'll get better recoveries out of Hammerdown, and then expand it, double the size to 1,400 tons a day, and that's when we'll ship Queensway, which is planned for the end of next year. Right. So it's, the whole issue was getting that permitted mill and tailings so that we saved ourselves 3 years.
So the prize is Queensway. Hammerdown and Pine Cove is the mechanism by which you unlock that earlier.
Catalyst.
Remind me the numbers on Queensway. This kind of phase 1.
So phase 1, we mining 700 tons a day.
Yeah.
Shipping on average between 9 and 10 grams a ton, or trucking 9 or 10 grams along the Trans-Canada Highway. So very good paved roads.
Yeah.
270 kilometers, which, when you translate it to cost, because everybody, that's very far. Well, the cost of trucking plus processing is about a gram. So we're shipping or trucking 9 to 10 grams. So, make lots of money at all-in sustaining of $1,300 all-in sustaining. So today's price, you're looking at over $250 million of free cash flow over that first 4 years, while we build a mill on site and being financed by the cash flow that's getting generated.
Right. Okay. And so let's kind of bring in yesterday's numbers that you put out, because I think the company previously, it was an exploration company, a very good exploration company, but it was a case of how do you bring all of this together? How does it fit together, and how do you produce cash? Yesterday's numbers said to me that you're starting to see more consistency, less nuggety type returns. That's been, I think, the accusation thrown at the resource here. It's very nuggety, it's very veiny, etc. What should I read into yesterday's announcement?
So, as a mining engineer, and having done lots of vein mining in my career, probably over half, so 40 years, over half vein mining. Two things you can't, or you must do, I'll say. One, drill it till you're satisfied that you understand the distribution of gold in a vein deposit. When I started, I heard, it's nuggety, in a negative connotation. It doesn't hold together. So I mandated a 5 by 5 meter center drill pattern, grade control drill pattern, where we're going to start mining. So people have to fully appreciate that's where we're going to start mining. And so by having it down to 5 meter centers, the continuity of that gold in the veins. Nuggety implies big chunks, nothing. Big chunks, nothing. In our case, and it's core I've never seen in my career, it's more like flakes throughout. So you still have the high grade, but it's more throughout, and the drilling is showing that it's consistent throughout those high grade shoots. And in that first set of...
Have you got some of that core here?
We have the core at the booth. People can
send me a photo and we'll put it on the video here. I think that'd be a really good idea. And you were talking about visible gold, right?
Visible gold.
Okay.
It's in our presentations. You can see it. Well, in fact, on a site visit, we take people along the vein in the iceberg excavation, and we can see the visible gold in the vein. So right at surface, because it's right at surface.
Literally at surface?
It's right at surface.
Interesting.
It's
in terms of economics,
right at surface.
In terms of economics, obviously that's extremely encouraging. Coming back to the consistency, so that surface is a big deal, should not be ignored. So I'm not ignoring that. But you talk about this continuity.
Yes.
Right. Your job is going to be trying to piece together. I'm not saying high grade this, but get the most efficient and biggest economic contribution as soon as possible, because mills cost money.
Yes.
You've got to spend a bit of capital outlay, etc. So you're going to want to get after the good stuff sooner. So is this drilling going to continue? Are you going to continue to try to understand not just where you're going to be mining, but what precisely that you're getting after to ensure that you're putting the highest possible grade through the mill early on?
Well, the 5 by 5 meter center drilling will provide the geologists all the data they would require to then do the statistics to understand, one, how much they should cut the top ends, and two, how much they limit the influence of a high-grade intersection between holes. That's what we currently have, which I believe is on the more conservative side, especially seeing the results we've gotten so far. That'll come out in the work, but they'll be able to use different distances now and understand better what these high-grade shoots are, and when they do the updated resource. So for us, we'll get to, I would say, a measured category, so the highest level of confidence in those areas, and then they'll define to us, well, you know what, drill to 10 meters, or drill to 7 meters, to get to that, or 12, or whatever that distance is, in order to get to a measured category of resource, the highest level of confidence.
So get to cash flow. Do you think you answered that question?
Well, I hope that that people are starting to see that there's a systematic way that we're going about it. That's mining engineer and having all the experience lines, I'll call them wrinkles, is you have to be systematic and don't take shortcuts. Drill it till you're confident, expose it at surface so that you understand it, which it's done, and then drill it till you're confident, and in the meantime, do the proper engineering to get it there.
Okay, interesting. And I just want to remind myself, actually, is obviously with Hammerdown, we talked about these kind of satellite pits as well, and kind of feeding into, because Pine Cove, we talked about first pour last year, like March, April last year. So is that right?
The Pine Cove Mill started up in March last year, but on stockpiles, like on you know, basically the rock that they had in the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
Like that's literally what they did.
But it was announced as a first pour. It has that kind of cliche.
The first pour from Hammerdown itself was announced on November 12th, the day before we actually closed the deal and took over that asset. So it had just started producing on a shoestring, on a bootstrap. So, you know, we're ramping it up now to get to that steady state.
So that's a bit I like, is kind of moving away from that kind of marketing-led headline type stuff, which we saw, obviously, the previous company was engaged
entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneurial, great word. To a more commercial, robust, realistic, delivery focus, and the delivery in this case is cash flow. That's the only thing that we're working towards with this build team of yours.
Correct.
Ultimately,
well, and exploration.
We're getting onto that because I think we were going to try and catch up with Melissa, but she's sort of running around, seeing people, much in demand, I suspect, after yesterday. As
much
well.
in demand is the way to put it.
Yes, where. Ultimately, releasing the cash flow from Queensway, you know, it releases the district and releases the exploration potential. So, just on that, in terms of outside of this immediate cash flow component, releasing the value from the rest of the district, what's that going to look like this year in terms of cash allocation? How much exploration is going to happen?
So we drilled 74,000 meters last year, and we started drilling in May. We'll do about the same cadence, if you will, but for the full year.
Yeah.
We've got 4 drills turning now, and ramp up to 6, 7 drills in the summer when you have more ground that you can go without removing all the snow and adding costs where you don't need to. So we'll drill, you know, in that 100,000-ish. Neighborhood, you know, 90 to 100,000, but 75% of it project related. So again, we've completed the upgrading of phase 1 from inferred to indicated, and all this grade control drilling, and the geotechnical and hydrogeological condemnation, all those. That's, you know, we did that, but we also did 25% on exploration, and we announced Dropkick, which was 11 kilometers north of our resource, an area that's really nicely emerging. And Melissa has a number of other targets on the property that we want to follow up this year to see what we can convert and possibly find that next big zone.
Last question. As an engineer, is there anything that you would have done differently or done sooner in the last 12 months?
No. I don't know that there was anything we could have done, actually.
There you go.
Okay. Thanks, Matt.
You better get over there. Much in demand.
Oh, yeah.